Welcome to California. We have officially made it all the way west. We are in Southern California right now at Salvation Mountain. So this is an art installation created by a man named Leonard Knight. He passed away in 2014, but basically from the 80s up until, pretty close to the end of his life, he worked on this art project.
Okay, I like it, Picasso.
Probably the most famous folk art installation in, for sure, California, probably all of the US. And I would personally say it's as quaint as it is unhinged, but it looks cool.
It's really giving part hippie, part religious zealot, part madman vibes.
Yeah. You are joining us on a sunny Tuesday afternoon. We finished our work for the day. We camped last night at Shereko Summit and we drove south to come see Salvation Mountain once we finished work. Shereko Summit was really a great spot to camp out. We stayed on some BLM land, which stands for Bureau of Land Management if you're not familiar, and if you're Canadian, it's basically the American equivalent of Crown land. That's where we've been camping out a lot. That's where a lot of our Overlander spots are, because basically it's government-owned land that you are just allowed to camp on for free. So there's some really great BLM land right behind Shereko Summit, which also has a gas station and a coffee shop. So it's a really great little spot, plus there's good self-service. So it's kind of ideal for us to stay there and work. And last night, because we are a long way from any Planet Fitness, we did an outdoor shower to medium success, we'll say.
It was a little chaotic. I mentioned the outdoor shower in the last vlog. It's not pretty. Wouldn't you agree, Katie?
I hate the wind. Imagine just showering wrapped in a shower curtain. That's what it's like.
Basically, we have 2 layers of shower curtains. One on the inside edge of the door and the other on the outside edge of these back doors. And we have a shower head at the back of the van. And normally we would use magnets to try and keep the curtains in place, but we don't have enough magnets, and it's windier than it really should be for us to be doing this outdoor shower business. So it's not ideal conditions.
Oh, it's so cold outside.
Look at the beautiful setting in which we've been able to accomplish a shower.
Okay. Also, it is 16 degrees out and windy. Oh my. Also, there was a wicked thunderstorm last night, which rolled in immediately after we finished our showers, which was kind of lucky.
We are back inside just enjoying our evening. It was a good thing we showered when we did, because there was a huge thunderstorm that started as soon as we were done. Really
heavy rain. So you definitely can't tell that we showered here, so that covered our tracks at least. Not that we're ashamed, because it's okay to do this. Feels good to be clean.
Yes, it does.
But otherwise, it's been a really good start to our first week in California, and we are really excited to be here. The next stop on our tour of the sort of Palm Springs and surrounding area this week is the Salton Sea, which we'll tell you more about once we get there.
It's this beautiful sandy beach with gentle waves, and there's no one. There's just assorted metal sculptures and stuff, and there's it's just weird to see a beach with no one at it or in it.
So let us tell you a little bit about the Salton Sea. The Salton Sea is not a natural lake.
It's kind of formed by accident.
In the early 1900s, they were basically changing the flow of the Colorado River in order to irrigate the farmland around here. And long story short, one of the dams broke, and for 2 whole years, water just flowed into the Salton Basin. At the time, it was just an open, low-lying area of the desert.
Like, it had been a lake a couple thousand years ago, but filled up with water again after that incident.
Historically, this desert basin would kind of oscillate between desert and lake, like over the centuries, but the last time there was a natural lake here was in the 1500s. But the problem with this unnatural lake is that the water doesn't drain out anywhere. The only way water leaves this lake is through evaporation, and that, combined with a whole lot of agricultural runoff in this area, means that this lake over the years has just gotten more and more gross.
Basically, the lake is toxic.
You can't swim in here, though it was a very popular vacation area in the 1960s when basically there was more water and it wasn't as toxic.
Here is truly a miracle in the desert. A whole new outlet for the crowded millions in big cities.
Yeah, until they realized it was getting more and more toxic every year.
And so now this entire area is just a really eerie, abandoned resort town.
We drove by some abandoned hotels and that kind of thing on the way here.
So we're gonna park here for a night. We've got good cell signal, so we'll work here tomorrow, but we can't swim in it because it's toxic. And yeah, this whole area is very like post-apocalyptic vibes.
While Katie's here working, I think I might go out for a little bit of a walk and maybe fly the drone a little. As we were saying yesterday, there is kind of a toxic lake here, but it's easy to forget that because there's also like a vibrant kind of art community here. It's really popular with van lifers. There's definitely a few of them that we've met around here. And there's this really cool kind of like junk art or really industrial, rusty kind of art. A little bit like in the style of Burning Man or something like that. It's crazy, the art around here. It's not really curated. It's not necessarily official. People have just shown up and made something, built something, done some art. Right behind me here is what would have been a boat launch at one point, but now is quite far from the edge of the water. It really gives you a sense of how much the water level has dropped in the Salton Sea. I just think it's so cool how there's art installations in and among the pier, the boat jetty kind of area. You really get the sense that, well, this place maybe had its heyday in the 60s. There's a bit of rebirth and there's still a thriving community here. Still beauty among all the sort of destruction. It's deep if you think about it. It's real deep, man.
Oh, hi vlog. We are in the middle of quite a disheveled van at the moment, but we love to take our opportunities when we are paying for a full service campsite to use all those services. Right now we are at a place called Bashford's Mineral Hot Springs, and it is lovely. As you can see, I'm in my bathing suit. Dan's also rocking the swim trunks because we just went for a swim this afternoon, and now we are draining our gray water tank, filling our freshwater tank, and I emptied our composting toilet, got it all cleaned and refreshed. Feels good to kind of have a fresh start. Oh, we also charged the batteries overnight. It's crazy because we actually haven't plugged the van in since Austin, which was, I don't even, like
almost 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago, but we have just been living on solar. No, we were just about halfway dead because we kind of like just lose a few percent each day, I guess. Like slowly over time it goes lower and lower because we almost charge as much as we use in a day. But yeah, we're charged back up to 100, so that should definitely take us through another like 3 weeks probably, but we also do have a campsite booked for a week. So yeah, this is just kind of a random spot. We didn't necessarily plan to come here, but at the beginning of the week when I was planning out our Palm Springs stuff, I came across it, I think, on iOverlander, and then doing some Googling because we wanted to find a place with a pool. And this place has 6 pools. What's your review of Bashford's so far?
It's amazing. It's like a little bit rustic, but just really relaxing.
We're also the youngest people here by probably 40 years.
Oh yeah.
But we love that. Welcome to Palm Springs. We haven't been doing a ton of vlogging here. Mostly, we've just been trying to survive the heat. It is really, really hot here. Like, it was like 33 today. And the problem that we've run into with Palm Springs is that there's not really public pools. And obviously we're in the middle of the desert, so there's no beach. But we did make our way after work over to this splash pad that's in the background, because it was the one place where we could cool down for free. And it does feel good now. I feel like we did cool down, and then we sat in the shade at the park for a while, and that was very pleasant. So
just to clarify, there are some public pools, but either they're really expensive, like $15+ a person, or they're not open right now,
or it's
winter.
Just lap swim. But yeah, it's surprising how many actually are just not open, because I guess it's too cold for them to swim outside. I don't really get that. Anyway, it's Friday night. We survived another week of work, and we're gonna go out for dinner. Well, we're here in the city because we hardly ever do that.
It's date night.
It's gonna be a date night.
Oh, hi there. Welcome to Joshua Tree.
So we hadn't planned to go to a farmer's market this morning, but we just kind of stumbled upon this as we were driving into the national park. Right at the entrance of the national park is a town also called Joshua Tree, and that's actually where the official visitor center is and stuff. And we just got drawn right in because they had these vegan meats for sale. So we got some essentially like salton barbecue chicken, and there was like a Greek restaurant selling dolmas and hummus, and I got some of that too. We almost got some pistachios as well, but Dan decided it was too expensive. And now we're gonna head into the park and go for a hike, I guess. I know we're not technically in LA yet, but we're very close, and I feel like the LA vibes are strong already. Just the way people around here dress, the way they talk, the fact that we just went to a farmer's market that had a vegan meat booth, and look at this rig. This is a very busy place. Also, after coming from like rural New Mexico, this place is crawling with people and traffic, and we hardly know how to deal with it anymore because we've been in the wilderness for so long. We're heading out on our first hike here in Joshua Tree. This is the Hidden Valley Nature Trail, and apparently this is, well, obviously a hidden valley where cowboys used to hide their illicit cattle herds that they stole. So it's cool. The rocks around here are really neat.
Well, and the Joshua trees.
Yeah.
The namesake of the park. There's people way up there.
Oh my lord.
We're gonna go up and down.
Oh my gosh, she's like got a lift kick pumping. That is so fun. That, by the way, is a Joshua tree, which we were not at all familiar with until we got here.
We didn't see any until this morning.
Yeah, and apparently they're not technically trees, they're actually a type of yucca plant. Basically, if you see Joshua trees, then you know that you're in the Mojave Desert because that is where they live. And apparently the early Mormon settlers of this area thought that their branches up in the air were reminiscent of the prophet Joshua leading people through the desert. So that's why they're called Joshua trees.
And they grow really slowly, like only an inch a year. Here we are having our lunch break. In the shade with the fan going, it's actually nice and cool. Mm-hmm. But
we've got our back doors open, so we've got a lovely view. And we're just having some of the hummus that I got from the farmer's market. and these Greek dolmas, which are really good. Some apples, Dan's having a sandwich, and I'm having a bagel with the hummus, and it's a good lunch.
That's what's on our menu. And for dessert, more hiking.
Yeah. We were just saying how, compared to some of the other national parks we've been to, Joshua Tree has a lot of like other young people. Like we really felt like at a lot of the places we've been to, it's been us and then like a lot of like families on vacation, like with their kids, and retirees. Like a lot of other RVers are retirees.
Mostly that's what we see.
But here, there's all kinds of other Instagram girlies out here getting their photos and their Lululemon, so I feel, you know, right at home. But at the same time, a little bit intimidated because I'm not used to being around like trendy young people. All right, here we go. It's hike number 2.
It's dessert.
Maybe we can just have some actual ice cream later. So I don't think we mentioned it at the outset, but this is the Barker Dam Trail. And basically in this area, there's a dam that was built kind of at the beginning of the 1900s by cowboys so that they would have a water source for the cattle that they were ranching up here. Back then, this area of the desert got about 10 inches of rain a year, and now it only gets 2 or 5, so there's not water here anymore. Well, we've done a bunch of hiking and we're gonna finish off our day with this scenic lookout.
So does that over there look familiar? That's the Salton Sea. That's where you're doing that in not in camera. Okay, well, yeah, that's the Salton Sea where we were at the start of this week. Like, way off. It's honestly too hazy to really see it well. But you can really get some beautiful views of the Coachella Valley from up here.
And I think that's going to be it from us this week here in Southern California. We've journeyed all the way from the Salton Sea, which is about 200 feet below sea level, all the way to the top of this peak here in Joshua Tree National Park, which is over 4,000 feet above sea level.
Almost 5,000 feet. And some of these other peaks around here are even taller, like 10,000 feet or more. It's cool.
It's been really cool exploring this part of the desert, and hopefully you've enjoyed coming along with us. Next week we'll be checking in from LA with a guest star, which you'll have to stay tuned to see who it is. As always, thanks for coming along with us, and we miss you all back home. We love you, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.